So if you're old, you should not start judo. But if you do, here's what you have to look out for. What's up guys, Nguyen, OG Fitness. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, then this channel is all about fitness for martial arts for older guys. So just a little bit of background on myself. I'm a black belt in judo, been doing it for 8 years, blue belt in BJJ, lifelong martial artist, and here to explain to you guys, oh, get this, I'm 44 years old. I'm Asian, yes, that's part of it, but there's also a lifestyle part of it, aspect of it, where I do things a certain way that allows me to stay very youthful. Anyways, in this video, we're gonna talk about if you should start judo or not, if you're an older guy. So a lot of people ask me this question, and rightly so, because in judo, there's a lot of potential for injuries, and to be honest, judo is more tailored to kids. You know, they want to start the kids young, and then eventually get them to a certain level, and then Olympics, that's the way it goes. So it's not very tailored to older guys. Now, if you're somebody who, you know, just wants to, you're just looking for a martial art to do, but injuries is like super important, as in not to get injured. And in that case, you shouldn't do judo. Okay, like if you don't really care about what martial arts you do, you don't have any kind of I would say fantasy towards judo, like it's not something you think about, you've been thinking about for a long time. It's not something that you're particularly interested in, you know, where you're not the type of person that that's on the fence, that really wants to do judo but is worried about injury. You're just like, I just want to find something to do, I'm just looking for something, but I really just can't get injured. Then you shouldn't do judo because you're gonna get busted up. Now, for those of you guys who are on the fence and who are like, man, I really want to do this, but it seems as though from what I've read, what I've seen, what I've heard, you know, it's a bad idea. Well, I would say that stop being a chicken. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you guys how you should go about it, because yes, as an older person who starts judo, you have to, there's a lot more consideration, and there has to be a better approach, like the way you approach it. Okay, so that's the first thing. If you're on the fence and you're like, man, I always dreamed of doing judo, but you know, I can't get injured, I got you. So first thing is, okay, you gotta stop worrying about it. And you're worrying about it because, rightly so, because you should be worried about it. So I actually approve that, you know, you're worried that you're gonna get busted up, because you can't get busted up in a very serious way. Okay, now that I'm edging you towards not being a chicken and doing judo, because hey, at the end of the day, we're gonna do this or not. You know, like you got one life to live. If you don't do it, then hey, you know, you're only gonna get older with time. I mean, and you'll never do it, and that'll be your story, right? So do it, don't be a chicken. Now, first thing, you wanna find a club and make sure it has a proper surface area. What do I mean by that? Because if you're an older guy, okay, like it's gonna be hard on you, on your joints, if you fall on a surface that's too hard. So judo clubs, usually what they should have is that they have the tatami, but then under the tatami, there's like a wooden floor, and under that wooden floor, there's either hockey pucks or tires or whatever, but it's like an extra cushion underneath the tatamis. So you have to have that. So that's why it's like it's slightly hollow and soft, not too soft, but soft enough where you can fall on it repetitively and not hurt yourself. Okay, so that's one, right? And the other thing is you want a club that has crash mats, a lot of crash mats. Because if you don't have crash mats, then you're going to be falling on that surface all the time. And sometimes if you're doing nagikomi, so you're practicing doing, I don't know, 1,000 throws, you know, for that class, then you're going to want to use the crash mat, right? So that's it. So you want a proper floor, you want crash mats, really important to make sure they have that. If they don't, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I'm telling you what's ideal. Okay. Now, the other thing that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to talk to the instructor and see if they have beginner classes. Some judo clubs do, some judo clubs don't. Some judo clubs, it's very tailored to kids, so they have kids class, and then the more advanced classes, the kids are a little bit older, they're around 10, 12, teenagers, whatever, 20-year-olds. But those guys, they've been doing judo for years, and they're young, they're strong, they're light, they're flexible, they know how to break fall already. So you're essentially going into an advanced class, even though they're kids, but they're still advanced. Not a good idea. Especially if you're a beginner, because you're gonna be lost and get hurt, right? So you want to make sure that they have a adult beginner class, okay, or beginner class or something to that effect. Next thing, you want to voice your concern about being injured. You're like, hey, I've always wanted to practice judo. I want to do this, but I want to do it properly so that I don't get injured in a big way, okay? And talk to the coach. At least if the coach will be able to, and you see his reaction, and he should be able to help you out there. Okay. Observe a class. You actually want to see what a class looks like. So if they have a class for beginners, adults, then you want to go sit in and check that out. Okay. Next thing, you have to master break falling. I've covered this in another video, but if it's important, it's worth repeating until the end of time. You gotta learn how to break fall and get really good at break falling before you start doing randori, because you could get hurt like that. Okay, that's just my take on it. There are some nuances there. Like I actually, even if somebody's not perfect yet and they're beginner, like I can randori with them and obviously control myself and show them a good time, and they'll have a very good experience. They'll have fun. They'll learn some stuff. To get a good workout in without smashing them to bits. But not everyone can do that. A lot of people can, but you gotta be able to spot them. Okay. Now the other thing, you gotta stick to newaza. So ground game. So you stick to the ground game. You stick to uchikomis, right? The entries, and then you stick to nagekomis, to throws. Okay. So at the beginning, you don't want to do randori, tachiwaza randori, meaning standing up randori. Not until you master break falling, not until you're ready. Give yourself a little bit of time to adapt and all that, okay? But not at the beginning. How long should you be doing that for? Man, I would say probably 2 to 3 times longer than when you feel you're ready. Because sometimes we feel like we're ready. Yeah, I can do this. But, a lot of times it's just ego. It's just we're in a rush because it looks like so much fun and all. But yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to take your time. So if you think you're ready in a month, give yourself 3 months. There you go. Okay, the other thing, you got to be selective with your partners. And yes, don't go with crazy people. and by crazy, I mean people who are hyper competitive, who can't go light when they do randori. So you don't want to go with those guys. As soon as you spot them or you figure it out because you're doing randori with them and you're like, oh, this guy is, bad, don't go with them. Who cares? We're adults. We're not here to compete with anybody. We're here to learn judo. So, if you see the crazies, you're like, hey, bro, can we go light? And that's it. And if it doesn't work out, you tell them, oh, well, hey, guy, yeah, I got things to do tomorrow. I have to work. I'm not gonna get my knee busted and all just because you want to go hard, right? Okay, so okay, if you have money, do privates. Privates are gonna help a lot. I didn't have money and I never did privates, but I do recommend privates. And then you from there, the coach, you have his full attention and you can talk about all of your goals, what you want to do with this, what are your concerns are in regards to injuries and all, and they can program you properly so that you can progress like in judo without getting yourself busted up, and then going to randori when you're ready, and so on and so on. And yeah, we watched this video. Oh, you should also watch all my videos on judo for older guys. Like I have a ton of them. Okay, so privates if you can, if you have money. But the good thing with judo is that everyone's very, very helpful. So if you talk to other judokas about these concerns, guys who are higher level or guys who are been doing it a little bit longer. I mean, you're gonna figure a lot of things out. But if you have money, man, privates would be the best. Okay, and then you can talk to the coach and you have his attention. He'll help you program stuff and figure things out. You know, he'll explain to you what you have to do first. He'll look at you and be like, okay, for you, first do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. So it's a good thing if you can do privates. Now, the other thing that you want to do is, yes, don't give in to your ego. So you got to leave the ego at the door. Don't go into randori too fast. I already touched on this, but essentially, like when you think you're ready for randori, give yourself another, double it or triple it. Okay, and make sure you know how to break fall properly. Make sure you're adapted, and you've done all the other stuff that I talked about. Okay, now another frame, a mental framework, a mental model that's important for you to have is that you are responsible for your own body and you're responsible for your partner's body as well. So that means that you don't bust yourself up, but don't go busting other people up as well, okay? Because a lot of times guys are like, yeah, I want to go light, they tell their partner that, but then they go hard. So what do you think happens when you go hard? Well, if you go hard, the other person's going to go hard, like even though you told them don't go hard because I don't want to get injured. So it's kind of dumb. All right, now I want to leave you with this little clip of Yoel Romero. I don't know if I could put it, I'll have to see, but essentially, it's a motivational thing, and I think you guys will like it.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. When you believe, everything is possible. You have two hands. Everything is possible. Go. And take it whatever you want to do.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Okay, it helps me grow, and notification bell and all that. I post essentially at this point one video a day, Monday to Fridays. I'll eventually get to weekends as well, because there's a lot of things to unpack, a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of things to repeat too, with different angles and different perspectives. And so that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, by the way, follow me on IG. If you guys follow me there and send me your questions, I'll answer them directly. In the comment section, I do my best, but sometimes I lose track, and that's it. All right, guys. Peace.